Thanks a lot for checking out another episode of our series, You Gotta Hear This. We have been following a certain political cartoonist for 10 or 15 years now, and we got a chance to chat with him about what it's like being a political cartoonist.
So it sounds like I'm going to need to draw another library tune. And
so we packed up all our gear and jetted over to Fairhope, Alabama to meet up with Mobile Press Register and Alabama.com political cartoonist JD Crowe. All right, JD. Hey, first of all, thank you for getting up with me today and chatting about stuff.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So I want to talk about your life being a political cartoonist. What was it like working at the Press Register? Because that was an iconic building deal for the longest time.
It was such a wonderful place. I mean, the first time I got a chance to talk with somebody, I was looking for a job. I've been freelancing. I'd lost a job in San Diego for several years, so I've been trying to find another job. And back in the old days, anytime there was any kind of a job opening, everybody swarmed to it, all the cartoonists, because we're always looking to move around or whatever. And then we went through a period where there just weren't that many jobs coming open. But I saw an ad in Editor and Publisher, and I called the number, and it was the Press Register. And I talked to this old guy. His name was BJ, and we just got along great. We talked about 20, 25 minutes. And he said, well, I won't be your boss, but Frances Coleman's going to be your boss if you get this job, and she's wonderful to work for. And he said, I'm going to have her call you. So we just chatted over the phone. I just felt like I was talking to family the whole time. And sure enough, they sent they just said to come on out and have a visit with us. And I walked in that building for the first time, and it just felt like a newsroom. And it used to be a car.
It was a newsroom.
It was a newsroom, but it used to be an old car dealership, and it had those old wood floors. And I walked in there, and you could just smell the ink, and it just wonderful. And the people were great, and I felt at home there.
Do you have any stories?
I do. I've got several of those stories. One night I was working kind of late, and we were all in our cubicles. All of a sudden, the police showed up. And he said, everybody keep your head down, there's been a shooting. And every one of us put their head up there and looked around, like otters. What? Well, I guess we'd have been. And they had a shooting down in the press room. But one of my first stories of in the newsroom itself, you maybe remember Eddie Curran. A lot of people that's known Eddie Curran. He was one of our investigative reporters at the time. And I was walking through the newsroom, and here's Eddie on the phone, and you could hear everybody's conversation. It was a real newsroom. You could hear everybody's conversation the whole time. Well, Eddie was on the phone. Well, okay, yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Oh, I get what you're saying, but when that story comes out tomorrow, sir, everybody's going to look at it and say, you're a liar. And I said, man, I love this place.
What's the difference between back in the day when it was you were doing the grind at the newsroom and what we're at today?
Well, there's nothing like being in a newsroom when there's a breaking story, and it's just electric. You just feel the power, you feel the urgency, and it's teamwork, and it's everybody going towards the same mission. It's just really, you just can't describe it unless you go through it. It's very, very exciting, and your blood is just pumping, and then we all trying to figure out our jobs, and obviously my job is to draw something stupid about what just happened or whatever. But no, the newsroom is an amazing place. Nowadays, it's we're all working from home. Now we have an office in Mobile.
You don't have the camaraderie that you had back then.
No, but it's not the same as the newsroom of the old days, for sure.
Yeah, I kind of miss that, and to me, it was very addictive.
Yeah.
Do you have that sense of how addictive the breaking news is?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's a rush.
Yeah.
It's a complete rush.
Okay, so you've been working at the Register for...
Been at the Register for about 25 years.
Oh, 25.
A little over 25.
Before that, you worked at a place in Texas. What are some of your most favorite cartoons from back in the day? Either super important to you or got a lot of traction?
And there's a lot of them. One that stands out at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. I just got the job right out of college at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. And I was a staff artist, so if anybody came in with some artwork they needed to help, it's usually something boring like a locator map where some big mass murder was. So I'd been there maybe 2 months, and it was right at midnight. And one of the reporters came in and said, "JD, I've got a great story. It's going on the front page probably in their Sunday paper, but can you create some art for it?" So I took a look at the story. I got really excited. I said, "Yeah, I'll get something done."
This was your first cartoon?
This is my first cartoon that got me in a position as an editorial cartoonist. The situation was there was 2 prominent couples in Fort Worth, and they had been friends, and they were allies with almost every political issue, except for this one, and it divided them, and they were each running opposed to each other. And so I drew a cartoon of them at a cocktail party, and they all had these big fake grins. There's 2 couples, man and wife, and they had these big fake grins and talking to each other over cocktails, and they had this grimace on their face. And they were saying pleasantries outside, but their thought bubbles were calling each other names. "Hope you weasels die," or something like that. And the reporter thought that was great, and he took it. And so this was on a Saturday night, I think. And on Saturday nights back in those days, everybody went to a party to celebrate the Sunday paper, the big old Sunday paper. And everybody said, "Hey, JD, man, your cartoon's right on the front page and in color. Oh, JD, go, yo," because I was new there, you know. And
you're fresh out of college.
Fresh out of college.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant editorial cartoon, but it was on the front page as a news cartoon. But an editor should have seen that wasn't the place for this cartoon. I went back in on Tuesday, and when I got there, there were a whole bunch of guys in suits talking about me, and I could see them saying my name, and they were saying, "Who hired him?" You know, and everybody. And I'm going to lose my job, and because I'm still on probation period, where they can just let you go for anything.
Yep.
So they put me on another probation period, and I was on thin ice right off the bat. And about that time, one of the editorial cartoonists for the morning paper got another job, and he left. So I went to my editor and I said, "You realize that was a pretty good editorial cartoon I did, right?" And he said, "Yeah, that was a good editorial cartoon." I said, "Looks like you got an opening at editorial cartoonist. Why don't you just slide me right on in there and give me a shot?" And they did.
Nice. And the rest is history, as they say. Thanks for watching this episode of You Gotta Hear This, featuring JD Crowe. Coming up next week.
No, I started in college, actually. I was the cartoonist for the school paper at Eastern Kentucky University.
We find out how JD Crowe became a political cartoonist. Be sure to check it out, and thanks so much for watching You Gotta Hear This, brought to you by Pipeline TV and Element Media Content Creation. Have a good day.